What is selflessness? Selflessness in a relationship is the deliberate choice to value the well-being, growth, peace, and happiness of your partner alongside and sometimes above your own immediate desires, your own comfort, your own preferences. It is the ability to move from what can I get from this relationship to ask the question, how can I contribute to your growth, to your success, to the health of this relationship? How do I help this relationship get better and better? To ask that question, you need to be selfless to answer it. We live in a world that is deeply selfish right now. In fact, the Bible says that in the last days, men shall be lovers of themselves. So we live in an epidemic of selfishness. And there is godly wisdom, there is ungodly wisdom. There is godly wisdom, there is demonic wisdom. This demonic wisdom is now glorifying selfishness and teaching people that this is how to make a relationship work. And unfortunately, many people, especially children of God, are hidden to this demonic wisdom, and it's not working. It's leaving them with pain, it's leaving them with heartbreak, it's leaving them with all kinds of things that they wish they were never, connected to. There is godly wisdom. Please, if you're listening this morning, there is godly wisdom for relationship. Listen, when God, who is the author of relationship, started relationships, selfishness was not on the planet. Selfishness was introduced at the fall of Adam and Eve when the enemy made them an offer contrary to what God had told them to do. So that's when selfishness came into the history of mankind. But before then, there was no selfishness, meaning relationships were designed to flourish in selflessness. So when you come into a relationship with someone, you are actually coming there to look for their well-being, to promote their success, to promote their growth. That's why you're there. You're not there for yourself. You're not supposed to be there for yourself. In fact, relationship was not designed to gratify self. Relationship was designed to build the other person. That's how God intended it from the beginning. This is why we go back to God to get the wisdom on how to make it work. The wisdom from the world is killing us, is bringing us pain, is creating brokenness, is shattering children, is shattering destinies, is destroying ministries, is destroying homes. Peace of mind is going. All kinds of devilish things are coming because of the narrative that the wisdom from hell is painting, that you need to be selfish to make a relationship work. Nothing can be further from the truth. But unfortunately, a lot of believers have bought into that narrative and it's not working. Selflessness is godliness. It cannot be stupidity.
You really can't do it in yourself. You need God to help you.
Is true.
And that's where even submission to God comes in. You see, when God designed for us as his children to come to him, we will always need him. It's very easy to be selfish and live your life. You don't need God. To be selfless, you need God.
Love is not selfish. That's the definition. It's a fundamental definition. Love is not selfish. And meaning that if we're truly going to love the way God wants us to love, we must be selfless. So talking about honor. What is honor? Honor is when you value the other person. You value their presence. You value their opinion. You value their needs. You value their preferences. You value what they stand for. And you value their dignity. That's honor. Honor is intentional. You have to be intentional to honor somebody. It's when you value their wisdom, you value what they represent, what they bring to the table. You value their time, you value their body, you value their mind, you value their talent, you value you value who they are. You're not taking them for granted. You are not abusing them. You're not reducing them to what they are not. That's honor. And honor and selflessness go together. to make a relationship work. See, nobody wants to be in an environment where they are denigrated, where they are undervalued, where they are abused. There's something inside of us. We flourish where we are honored. We flourish where we are valued. We do well, we blossom where we are appreciated. But where we are insulted, nobody does well in the midst of abuse and insult. Even plants shrivel if you start insulting them.
That's true.
It's amazing. Just go to a tree and start insulting the shrub. It shrivels. It shrivels. So experiments have been conducted in those lights, and they found that things don't thrive where they're insulted. So if you're in a relationship where you're not valued, you're not honored, you're not looked after, you will start shriveling. If you're in a relationship where you're being ignored, your needs are being ignored, your aspirations are being ignored, your dreams are not fanned, you will not thrive there. And it means that you're not being honored. And this is the thing. Many people do not know that they need to intentionally honor their partner. Women are auditory. Men are visual. Women are auditory. Men are visual. What does it mean? A woman's heart is through her ears. A man's heart is through his eyes. So when a man wants to touch the heart of a woman, it's what he says. And then he follows through what he says with action. So she sees what he does, and what he does is matching what he said. Then she believes him. While for the man, it's what he sees. Okay? So a woman needs to know that this man values her. So, and how does the man communicate that? Is what he says to her. And then what he does following what he says. Because you can't say, I love you, and then you turn around and treat me like trash.
That's true.
The words and the actions are not matching. So there's now cognitive dissonance in your head. And you're wondering, what you just said in the morning, by 12 o'clock, I'm seeing the opposite. So there's cognitive dissonance. So the words and the actions have to match. This is where it requires selflessness to make the actions and the words to match. It takes selflessness. So like you said in your comment, this dimension we live in is wired for selfishness. The moment Adam and Eve fell, Satan's nature, which is selfish, infiltrated them and infiltrated the rest of creation. So the world is reeking under the influence of intense selfishness. That's just the truth. So the reason why people resist selflessness, as you have asked, the reason why is because it's not natural to human nature. Human nature is wired for self-preservation, for selfishness. Everybody's looking out for what's in it for me. What's in it for me? That's natural. But this is the problem. If you bring that natural tendency into the relationship, it doesn't work. Why? Because God did not design relationship to function in an environment of selfishness. No, he didn't. He didn't. He designed relationship to function in an environment of selflessness. And that was why Adam and his wife were very good until selfishness entered. The moment selfishness entered, their home was destroyed. Their marriage started having issues. And then when they had children, can you imagine? Their children inherited selfishness, one ended up killing the other. And, can you imagine the pain that was introduced in their family as a result of the fall? So, man is wired to be selfish, and that's why he resists selflessness. So, if we're going to make relationship work, then both people in the relationship, the man and the woman, must embrace selflessness. You have to be intentional to look out for your partner, to say what is good for them, what is good for us, what is good for the relationship, not necessarily what is good for me. What is good for the relationship? What is good for them? And as you live intentionally asking that question and trying to find answers to that question on a day-to-day basis, what is good for my partner? What can help them grow? What can help them become better? What can help them achieve their goals? What can I do to make life easier for them? Those are the questions you're supposed to be asking on a day-to-day, ongoing basis for the relationship to thrive. And imagine where two of you are asking that question. What are the needs of my spouse? What can I do to make them happy today? What can I do to make life better for them today? What can I do to advance their goals? Do you know that some people don't even know the goals and the objectives of their partner, the person they're in a relationship with? What's important to them? Where are they going? It's your responsibility to find out and then to help them. And those are the questions you should be asking. And when you are asking the question, how do I make them better? And they're asking the question, how do I make you better? The relationship blossoms. Because now we are here serving each other and helping each other become better people.
Selfishness is what we came in with. But when we give our lives to Christ, we receive a new nature. That new nature is one that we grow in, and it is that of love. And where selfishness is not the operating modus operandi. So we learn it, we grow in it. So as Christians, it's one of the things that shows our level of growth and character growth. Not necessarily in power or whatever else. You can pray, but can you serve? That is why your relationship cannot be based on what you see. You have to have the Spirit of God lead you and direct you. And even in needs, you still are growing. You still are depending on God, because selfishness will still creep in. So you have to come, like you said, it's a daily thing. You're saying, how can I serve the other person? And I do understand for some people who, because of pain, that's actually why some of people have come with all these theories that are there now on social media, because of pain. Not because this is how relationships should be if there was no pain, but because we've all gone in and people have gone into pain. They've now come up with another theory that is extreme to say selfishness is the order of the day. But we're saying no. Selflessness. But you have to know where you're going into in the beginning. You must understand who you are in God and all of that, and do things, how will I do it, according to God's will and purpose.
This Friday is, thank God it's Friday, and we're going to be wrapping up everything that we've been discussing the whole of the month of May on killing the silent killers of love, or stopping the silent killers of love. And we're going to get into that conversation and deal with all the silent killers that we know, and pray for people and help people. We're going to also answer questions. This Friday, thank God this Friday is 100% online. So you need to register, and you will be given a code to join that conversation. The number is
062-520-2020. So it's purely online. So wherever you are with your cup of coffee, with your partner, please join in. It's going to be a very exciting conversation. It's a conversation. We're going to go through all the things that we have learned over this month, even much more, because we have limited time every time we come through. And you'll be able to ask your questions. So make it a date. You have to register. The number via WhatsApp is 062-520-2020.